Lois was raised by two people who didn't want her, and she spent the rest of her life paying for it.
Mother, please, think about what you're doing. You are suing your own child.
I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let the lawyers handle it.
She is the kind of person who cannot admit when she's wrong.
But I am right.
Let go, honey.
But
Just once.
Cannot ask for help, and cannot show weakness without immediately overcompensating.
Are you happy you crippled your mother?
And most people who watch this show write that off as just who she is. But there's a reason for all of it, and it starts with a woman named Ida and a man named Victor.
Come on in.
So this is certainly unexpected. What brings you all the way down from Canada?
Ida is one of the most purely awful characters in sitcom history, in a way that makes you wonder how Lois survived childhood at all.
Ah! God, what the hell is wrong with you?
You like pushing me?
From the moment Ida arrives on screen, she makes the dynamic clear. She walks into Lois's house, looks around, and starts criticizing.
If we such big inconvenience, we go right now.
No.
Every visit follows the same pattern. Ida arrives, Lois tenses up, and within minutes, something has been said that cannot be unsaid.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Get out of my house. No.
But the cruelest thing about Ida isn't the insults. It's what she did to Lois's sense of self.
What is the matter with you people?
At one point, Lois tells Jamie that her whole childhood she spent trying to be someone she wasn't.
I was so excited to think that I might be a cougar and finally feel like I belonged.
Because Ida never stopped pushing her to be different, better, more like Susan.
I remember every morning in the bathroom shoving these things down my shirt and feeling like such an awkward, ugly little girl.
And when Lois grew up, moved out, and built her own life, it didn't stop.
If I had any guts, I would just cut off my hair right now. You know, just face it down and beat it.
Ida resented her for marrying Hal. She blamed her for Susan's unmarried status. She kept treating her like a disappointment well into her 40s.
No one really remembers the day they had their child. They pretend they do to feel important.
The comparison never ended. It just followed her home. Victor appears in exactly one episode. He arrives unannounced, takes one look at the family, and immediately makes clear where everyone stands.
Clean behind your ears? Look what I found.
$5?
Malcolm tries to say hello,
I can't hear this one. He sounds like a girl.
but what the show only hints at in that episode is what Victor was actually like as a father.
Look at him eat. Like animal. Not like Mr. Pizza with knife and fork.
He locked Lois in closets. He fed her poorly. He got her drunk.
Why do you think you girls were so short and ugly? Victor fed you on beans.
These things come out in passing, the way things do when they've been normal for so long that nobody thinks to make a scene about them.
Oh my God, Mother, she's inside. Lock yourself in the den. I'll call the police.
And underneath all of it was a suspicion he carried his entire life, that Lois wasn't his daughter at all. He couldn't prove it. There were no DNA tests in the 1960s, but he believed it.
This says that Dad is not my father.
And he made her pay for it every single day, without ever telling her why.
What happened here?
We can't be sure.
When Lois confronts her parents about the grenade, something happens that almost never happens. She breaks.
You don't ever talk to us like that, you hear me? Where's robotisch do you crop?
Mom, I just mean.
Ida tells her not to raise her voice, and Lois, the woman who has faced down every disaster this family has ever produced, who cannot be intimidated by anything, goes quiet, just like that, because this is her mother.
All right. Lois, take the boys in the other room.
And 40 years of conditioning don't disappear because you're an adult now. Hal sees it. He sends her out of the room, sits Victor and Ida down, and handles it himself.
This money I'm asking for, it's not a loan. It's blackmail.
But the moment that stays with you isn't the money. It's Lois standing there, about to say something, and then just stopping. That's not a personality trait, that's a wound. Victor dies off screen between season 2 and season 3. A heart attack.
He was proud. A man of honor.
He is mentioned briefly, and then the subject is dropped. Nobody grieves, not Lois, not the boys, not even Ida, not really.
Grandfather was tough. He didn't take anything from anybody.
Though she will spend the next several seasons weaponizing his memory whenever it's useful, the absence of grief is its own kind of statement. A father dies, and his daughter feels nothing worth showing. Season 4, Lois is pregnant. The family is already stretched financially and emotionally.
Think you've had more than enough potatoes? Does the chair have to break before you stop eating?
And Ida falls on their front steps and breaks her collarbone. She sues them, her own daughter.
Is this 1, 2, 3, 3?
Go ahead, this is her.
You've been served.
When Lois begs her to reconsider, Ida's response is immediate.
Yes, of course. You should settle.
There is something almost impressive about the totality of Ida's selfishness. It isn't malice exactly, or not only malice.
Did you hear that? He called me evil. I want that on record.
It's that Lois's circumstances simply don't register as a reason to behave differently.
You don't think I have a case? You don't think I have pain? That I have suffered?
A daughter in financial difficulty, about to have a baby, asking her mother for mercy, and Ida hears it and thinks, settle.
If you can't keep your legs closed for 20 minutes, at least take good advice when you hear it.
This is the woman who raised Lois. This is what love looked like in that house.
Susan!
I'm so happy to see you.
Susan Welker appears in one episode late in season 5 and manages to communicate everything about Lois's childhood in 20 minutes.
Here we go. We're only 3 hours in and we've already received our first visit from the Queen Bee of moral superiority.
She is everything Ida always said she was. Polished, confident, successful.
I'm giving you the Mustang. Oh my God, you're kidding.
She moves through the world as though it was arranged for her convenience, which, in the Welker household, it largely was.
Why is Mom always so weird about Aunt Susan?
Dad used to be Aunt Susan's boyfriend.
Hal dated Susan before he dated Lois. Both Ida and Victor preferred her. Hal's wealthy family preferred her too. In every version of the story, Susan was the right choice, and Lois was the other one. When Lois discovers Susan is in kidney failure, she offers to donate a kidney.
That's the moment we've all been waiting for, isn't it? The almighty Lois now has the power to grant me life.
Susan refuses, not because she doesn't need it, but because accepting help from Lois would mean acknowledging something about their relationship that neither of them has ever said out loud. Eventually, she agrees.
Oh, for God's sakes. All right, give me the damn kidney. Thank you.
Lois grew up watching her parents love her sister in a way they never loved her, and then spent her adult life offering the sister who replaced her one of her own organs. That's the shape of it. Victor had a second family, a wife, Sylvia, in Manitoba, Canada, children, a home.
You know, I can't get over how happy and friendly Dad looks in picture after picture after picture.
A whole parallel life he maintained for decades while Ida raised their daughters in the dark. Ida knew. She had known for years, and she chose to tell Lois about it while Lois was in active labor.
Your father had a second family.
That timing is not an accident. Ida does not do things by accident. She chose the moment when Lois was most vulnerable, most exhausted, most unable to process what she was hearing, and that is when she dropped it.
What?
This slutty cocktail waitress in Manitoba. She was nothing but a pig.
As though it was just another thing to get off her chest. Victor had a family he actually wanted, and for his entire life, he came back to Ida's house, back to Lois, only because he had to. Lois travels to Manitoba with Malcolm, Reese, and Jamie to meet Roberta, Victor's daughter with Sylvia, her half-sister.
I don't care how uncomfortable this is. Give me a hug.
What she finds there is the version of her life that never happened.
It's just beautiful and everything is so fancy.
Sylvia's house is calm. The photos on the wall show people who look happy. Roberta is warm and steady. She looks like Lois, shares her ring size, likes the same food, but without the tension that runs through everything Lois does.
Here's another one of Dad doing his pretend angry face.
Jerome, Roberta's son, is a genius like Malcolm, but he's popular. When he embarrasses himself, he laughs first, and everyone laughs with him instead of at him.
And he's funny.
Malcolm sits with Lois, and they both see it at the same time.
It's amazing how different your life could be if you just changed one person.
Lois wonders what it would have been like to have a mother like Sylvia. Malcolm wonders what it would have been like to have a mother like Roberta. The show lets them sit with that for a moment.
Have you heard a bird or a cricket or anything in the last 2 minutes?
No, everything's gone as quiet as a graveyard.
Lois is trying to help her mother, despite everything, the lawsuit, the cruelty, the timing of the Manitoba revelation. She is still trying. She finds evidence for Ida's pension claim, goes through Victor's old documents, builds a case.
I'm just trying to help you.
I know you are, Vushka. I'm sorry.
And then she opens the DNA results.
This says that Dad is not my father.
Ida had an affair with a man named Radu Gogorsky. Victor had suspected it his entire life. He couldn't prove it. There were no DNA tests in the 1960s, but he knew. And that suspicion is the reason he treated Lois the way he did for 40 years.
How could you lie like this?
Sweetie, don't be upset. We can change this A to a B.
Not because she was weak, not because she was the wrong kind of daughter, because he believed correctly that she wasn't his at all. Lois is not Ida. That much is clear. She is present. She shows up, she works a full shift at Lucky Aid, and comes home and still deals with whatever Francis or Reese or Malcolm has set on fire that day.
Just come down.
We're not coming down until you tell us what you're gonna do.
Not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do until you come down.
When Hal cannot function, she functions. When the family needs someone to hold it together, she holds it together.
In your room.
She is not her mother, but she is also not Sylvia, not Roberta. She controls everything because control was the only thing that kept her safe growing up. She cannot let anything be uncertain because uncertainty, in the house she came from, always meant something bad was about to happen. She is hard on her kids because nobody was ever soft with her. Lois was raised by two people who didn't want her, a mother who preferred her sister and sued her while pregnant, a man who suspected she wasn't his and punished her for it for 40 years. And she built a family out of that wreckage, imperfect, chaotic, exhausting, but real. What she didn't know for most of her life was why any of it happened. And what this did to her relationship with Hal is unhealthy in its own way. That one's up next.